An update on that encounter in Udhampur, where 3 hostages taken by terrorists have been rescued. It was a joint operation between the special forces of the Indian Army and other paramilitary forces. The terrorists, in fact, have been, one terrorist has been killed, one has been taken alive, and that encounter now is over. Zafar Iqbal now joining us. Zafar, you were pointing out how this stretch is usually not targeted by terrorists.
Yes, that's right. In fact, Jammu-Srinagar National Highway is always sanitized. There are road opening parties which carry out their work in the morning before the security forces vehicles can move. So they check any explosives or IEDs. So those precautions are always there. And this encounter took place in the Udhampur district, which is considered as a militant-free district. There are no militants there. But then militants have, in fact, managed to target this BSF convoy in the Udhampur district. This is really a cause of concern for the security forces, and also the encounter taking place very close to the headquarters of the army. The Northern Command headquarters is in Udhampur, though the target of the militant was the BSF convoy. Early in the morning they struck at the BSF convoy. 2 BSF Jawans were killed, 10 others were injured, and in retaliation 1 militant was killed on the spot, but the other militant managed to flee. He went up onto the hills with 3 people, 3 locals who he had taken hostage, and then that hostage crisis continued for a few hours. Finally, he was caught alive, and all the 3 hostages have been rescued. Now it was a joint operation of the police and the special forces of the army and other paramilitary forces. It was a successful operation. The security forces say they ensured that all the hostages are released and they are not hurt in that operation, and that's why it was taking time. But finally, the militant was caught alive. Amitabh.
And that's extremely significant, isn't it? It's unusual to catch these terrorists alive.
Yes, that's right. It's very, very rarely it happens that militants are caught alive, particularly in a situation where they have taken people hostage. Now, we're told by our sources that he had, in fact, taken them to a school, to a nearby school, and he was also, he had finished his ammunition, and that's the time when the police, in fact, zeroed in and pinned him down, and also the hostage who he had taken, they also facilitated his arrest, and he was arrested a short while back and brought down to the highway where the operations were going on since the morning. Now the security forces say that his interrogation will reveal the whole plot, whether it was a one-off incident, whether the aim was just to target this BSF convoy or more than that, and whether he was a foreign militant and which outfit he belonged to, and whether he had infiltrated recently or he's here for some time. All those questions will be answered later on. But at the moment, a successful operation has been completed by the security forces with the elimination of 1 militant and the arrest of the other.
Right, Zafar, in fact, we're seeing a picture of that reported terrorist who's been taken alive, and you're saying it's going to be extremely crucial for security forces to determine whether it was an infiltration attempt by a foreign national or whether these were local boys.
Well, it seemed that he's a foreign militant. I spoke to a senior officer. He said that he's a foreign militant. And also, I would like to point out that the village defense committees, which are locals who have been given arms by the local administration, they also played a role in his arrest. So it was a joint operation, a combined action by the locals, by the village defense committees, by the police and the security forces. Army's special forces were also pressed into service. So he is a foreign militant, that's what we're being told, and that's precisely the reason he had taken 3 people hostage, to show him the way, to act as his guides. But ultimately he was cornered and arrested in Udhampur only, and the operation has now been completed. The encounter is over, and now the traffic which was stopped on the highway is slowly released, and the things are slowly starting to get normal again. Amitabh.
We have, in fact, we'll just put it out on the screen there. We have 2 pictures of that reported terrorist who's been captured alive, and that'll be crucial to getting information about this attack. But just recount to us, Zafar, what exactly happened during this attack and the encounter. The good news, of course, is that those 3 hostages were also rescued.
Well, early in the morning, we got this news that a BSF convoy has been attacked on the highway in Udhampur. Now, BSF convoy, which was Srinagar bound, which is going from Jammu to Srinagar, was precisely targeted with grenades, and they were firing at the BSF convoy with AK-47 rifles. One bus was precisely attacked, in which 2 Jawans were killed at the spot, and in retaliation one militant was also killed. The other managed to escape from the place. All the BSF convoy got halted there, and it happened just a little while after the Amarnath Yatra convoy had passed by. So it was very crucial in that sense. But then the militant who escaped from that place took 3 people on gunpoint as hostage. He managed to go on top of a small hill, and he was hiding in the dense vegetation there. Later on, he had moved into a school along with all those hostages. That's the time when security forces swung into action. The entire area was cordoned off, and slowly but surely they managed to zero in on that school and the militant, and he was caught alive. The priority was a safe release of the hostage, which happened in the end of at the end of it, and he was also caught alive, and the encounter was over. The firefight had ended much before that, but then the operations were going on for some time to catch the militant or to kill him, but finally he was caught alive. Amitabh?
And it is highly unusual, and just looking at a mail that colleague Nazir Masoodi has sent us, saying that the last time a terrorist was caught alive was in Srinagar on a suicide attack on the CRPF post in Bemina in 2012 March, when a Pakistani militant was caught alive.
Yes, it's very rare that a militant is caught alive. Generally, it does not happen that whenever there are encounters, the militants are gunned down. At the end of the encounters, the militants are killed. But it's very rare that a militant is caught alive. Now, this is a big success for the security forces, because his questioning will reveal a lot about the militant strategies. In the past, we've been seeing changing strategies of the militants. They have been launching surprise attacks on the security forces in the hinterland, and also recruiting more people, more locals. So all those things are there, and security forces will perhaps get a clue and idea about the changing militant strategies, and also the help from across the border. We've been seeing repeated ceasefire violations at the line of control and the international border in the last few days, and also militant attacks in the hinterland. So there's a two-pronged strategy: one, that they are targeting the borders, but engaging with the security forces there, and also carrying out these encounters in the hinterland. So his arrest is very, very significant. Security forces point out that, of course, his interrogation will give more clues and inputs about the militant strategies.